So, this was inspiring, right?
Yeah.
And just to keep the blood flowing, we have one more speaker for you to truly motivate you, to inspire you to give all your best during the weekend. So, please welcome to the stage, Salim! Welcome.
Good. How you guys? You guys ready to do stuff, work hard, not sleep for 48 hours? Do we have a deck, or should I just talk? Talk. All right, cool. So I was asked to give you a bit of advice. If you guys don't know me, I've had a few startups behind me. I have this weird story where most of us are told, like, get your failures out of the way first so that you'll succeed later. It's called learning. And for me, it was the other way around, where I was successful at first, and then I got really arrogant and lost all my money and really bad ideas later. And then I started this thing called Lean Camp, which was about bringing lean startup, which was relatively unknown, to different communities, and we brought that together with business models and UX, and now that kind of feels like one thing, which is good, because we've all been learning from each other. But more importantly, we've been learning about the practical stuff, what really works and doesn't. And so I thought I'd share with you a few tips from what I've seen since then. I actually just got back from Kenya running a program for engineers, and we were, like, one of the engineers we were helping was doing nanotech water filters, that kind of stuff. How do you bring that to market? And I've seen, I've worked with Oxford University, I've worked with a range of accelerators, seed camp, and so on, with designing the education program, so I've seen a lot of ways we get stuck. And one of the things that really bothers me is when I see you guys having great ideas and having this compressed time frame. You do everything right, but you just kind of do it a bit too slowly. It feels like a lot of that build, measure, learn, iterate, adapt your idea, that stuff slows down when we get stuck on decisions. So I wanted to give you a few tips here. You might have heard about this concept, launch fast and iterate. Right? This is like a startup mantra. Paul Graham at Y Combinator wrote an essay on this. Why? The reason is, if you haven't started a company before, actually, how many of you guys have started a company before? Okay, keep your hand up if you said, I wish I knew that sooner at some point. Right? It's like, we've all done that, and we call that experience. The idea of execution in a business is really all about putting something in front of a customer, because at that point, you learn the things that you didn't know you needed to know. And so this ideal of getting something within hours in front of the person who's going to use it, and then learning from that and making decisions from there, is where launch fast and iterate comes from. So one way I think about this is that we are all in a position right now where whatever our idea is, we are going to be making truly uninformed decisions. Our level of knowledge is down here. And every time we can put something in front of a customer, it'll go up. Another release, it'll go up. So the faster we can do releases, the faster we reach a point where we're making more and more informed decisions. So that might seem really basic. So I want to dig into a few more things. Right now, there's a few ways you can learn. Think about 3 types of learning. So one is observation. Go to where your customers are hanging out right now, get on Reddit, get on forums, and look at what they're struggling with. You can do that within hours and be more informed. Another type of learning is to ask them. But don't ask them for their opinion, because they'll just lie to you. Especially if you're like, hey, I'm startup weekend, I'm an entrepreneur, I've got this idea, everyone will just encourage you. And people can't predict the future. Instead, ask them about their past behavior. Truly go to understand them and listen. Because your job is then to design a product and a business model that is congruent with their behavior, not with their opinion or what they say they'll do. And one way to do that is to look for signals, listen for signals. When you're talking to a customer, ask them how they do something. And every minute you should be hearing either goals or actions they're taking or obstacles they're encountering. And if you're not, then you either need to ask better questions or sharpen your hearing, sharpen your listening. Another thing that I'd encourage you to do in this short time frame is what I call planting a flag. So every time I've wanted to launch a business where I didn't know enough about my customer group, I didn't have access to them, I would be really honest. I would find a place where they were looking, so a blog like Medium, or a forum, and I would literally post where I'm at with my thinking right now and ask for help. If you're in this area, I need to talk to you. I want to help you. I want to help these people, X, do this thing, Y, but I need to talk to you first. Can you get in touch, please? Just plant a flag and people will find you. Now, I actually just launched my own startup over the past 48 hours. So I took a week off because it's an idea that I've wanted to do for a long time, and that's about making better decisions from customer conversations. It's called signaling. Within the first hour, sat down with the team, we were wireframing. About hour 16 into the project, we had built the first version. And then I went to Beta House in Sofia, and we put it in front of customers. And so the idea was it's a note-taking app that also gives you a moving graph that shows you if your conversation is actually leading to opportunity or not. Turns out that the note-taking part wasn't the part that stood out. This little graph on the side, which I thought was like a nice little, fancy feature, turned out to be the thing that got everyone's attention. And then they started saying, can I import my support emails and get that graph? It didn't take 16 hours to build a functional prototype to get that information. So you can see that actually over that period, even though you think I was going fast, maybe, releasing a functional version in 16 hours is pretty good. But that still wasn't fast enough because I wasn't getting the right information. I could have released something, a screenshot, in the first 4 hours. So that much farther ahead. One last thing I want to give you is just a bit of a warning, really. On your teams, there's always going to be somebody it's their idea, so they become the de facto leader. And then we go out and some people talk to customers, some people run experiments, we all go do different things. And then we all, based on our experiences, make a conclusion about what we think is the next move. We come back as a team and we argue over what the next move should be. And by default, whoever's idea it was usually is the person who says, oh, well, I'll make the call. That's a really bad way to make decisions because you're leaving all the information out of it. Everybody is bringing their conclusions to the table. So what I'd suggest to you is aim for mutual understanding. If 3 of you are going out to talk to 5 different customers each, don't come back with your conclusions. Come back and replay those conversations. Help the other teammates understand what happened in those conversations so together you understand the whole picture and then you can decide together. And you'll make decisions much faster that way. And again, you just get the information as quickly as you can because it's your job to get the information. It's your job to become more informed. It's your job to make big changes from that information and adapt quickly. That's how, in this short period of time, you're actually going to get from where you are now to a truly viable business. Is that helpful? Yeah. Cool. All right. Good luck. I'm writing a book about decisions. So if you want to help me out, it's called Decision Hacks. Decisionhacks.co. Please sign up. Help me write it. I'll help you with your startup. And if you're interested in the Custeb app, come talk to me. I'll get you on it. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Salim. So one thing that's